supportive of organizations that are working to win federal paid family and medical leave for all working people. Dawn, thank you so much for being here. And, President Biden having to do this, I think, really does underscore the challenges that we have in this country. The idea that it's not possible for many workers, or that it would be a worry for many workers, that they couldn't take an hour or two out of their day to go get a vaccine, and that they don't have potentially access to leave that will allow them to make sure they're still paid if they have to recover from this. So this is one example of a much bigger problem. What kind of pressure is there to make some real changes here?
Absolutely, there is pressure. And thank you for having me, Kasie. When the pandemic hit, more than 30 million workers in the United States didn't have access to even a single day of paid leave. 4 in 5 workers do not have access to paid family leave. So this was a crisis long before COVID, but we still now do not have any form of national paid leave, and we are one of the only countries in the world where that's the case, where this is simply not a given. And this is our opportunity to finally change that. And we have that opportunity and a mandate now coming out of this pandemic to finally build back better.
So, Dawn, if you're a company that's thinking about trying to return to the office, and there are many that are looking at June or maybe September, there are a lot of workers out there who are looking around at the way their lives are structured. They don't know where they're going to send their kids to school or camp. They're nervous about returning to the demands of offices that previously existed. How should companies, setting aside what Congress and the government could do for a second, how should companies be thinking about their employees and their flexibility and their granting of paid leave to workers? Because as you point out, this pandemic has just utterly upended everybody's lives.
I think all of the research shows that paid leave actually boosts bottom lines. Looking at programs in the States, looking at private plans, we find that it makes workers more productive. Higher performance, it reduces turnover, so it actually reduces costs. So it has either a positive or a neutral effect on businesses' bottom lines. When we've done polling, we found that actually 2/3 of small businesses support and want a national paid leave plan. So this is something that is good for business. More and more businesses you'll hear are getting on board and asking for a policy, because I don't think we can leave it up to voluntary measures or to the private sector. This is something that, again, needs to be universal, no matter who you work for, no matter where you live. And this is now, again, the opportunity to finally make that change. And if there's one thing we've learned from this pandemic, it's that every one of us will need to give or receive care in our lives, and we can't always plan that. So when a caregiving need arises or when a crisis hits, we need to have this assurance and this peace of mind.
All right, Paid Leave for All Director Dawn Huckelbridge, thank you very much for getting up early with us and putting a spotlight on this very important issue. We really appreciate your time today.